I come bearing great news, the sort of wonderful news that it's going to warm your cockles on a late Saturday night. They probably didn't need warming anyway. That was very presumptuous of me. Jarrod Bowen's going to sign a new deal. There you go. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I guess I could end the video there. I'll give you a little bit more detail, considering you've been polite enough to click on the video. Bowen signed a new deal. It was leaked. I think we can call it leaked. An exclusive leakage. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? By Fabrizio Romano. I'll read what he said. He said, exclusive. Jarrod Bowen agrees new long-term deal at West Ham. It's all done. One more excellent news for the West Ham winger after the England national call-up. Great. One little last line there. It said, Bowen wanted to stay as a key part of the project. Jarrod said yes to the final proposal. Excellent. I don't know what the final proposal was, by the way. So that's what Fabrizio Romano said about an hour ago, hour-ish, probably be 2 hours by the time I've uploaded this. That's since West Ham United, ex-West Ham United employee has since confirmed that this is indeed the news. Claret and Hugh have spoken to their board source. You know it is. And yes, and they've said exactly the same thing. So the deal is not signed yet, but it's going to happen. And this is really, really great news. Perfect timing ahead of tomorrow. Absolutely perfect timing. This is really good. Jarrod Bowen can now, I think, go on and become a right proper West Ham legend. He already sort of is a bit of one anyway, let's be fair. Scored the winning goal that won us a trophy, but he's getting better and better. I've been wondering what the hold-up was over the last few days, and it could have been a number of things that we discussed on a number of occasions. Okay, well, let's deal with the elephant in the room, which is the buyout clause. So the suggestion was that he wanted a buyout clause. Look, one or two things has happened. Either he has that buyout clause or he doesn't. I'm telling you something you don't know. Maybe, just maybe, the news getting leaked out there, he had second thoughts about it and thought, no, do you know what? I'm not going to bother. I don't know. I think quite possibly it was him getting into the England squad. I said that in the video that I did about Ben Rama earlier today. Maybe that was the final thing. Think, do you know what? If I play well, I can get into that England squad at West Ham. And I think you can do, for all these sort of, I was going to say the mean things. I didn't say anything mean about Gareth Southgate. I think I just said what is the truth about Gareth Southgate. For all the things I pointed out about Gareth Southgate, he does pick West Ham players. He clearly picked Declan Rice for the best part of 2.5 years, 3 years, didn't he? So Jarrod Bowen plays well. Jarrod Bowen will get into the squad. So I think that's maybe played some part in his thinking. Maybe he's thought, well, you know what? There's a good enough reason to stay. Maybe he's had a look at the form. Maybe it's a form thing. I never really thought it was about money. I really didn't, because I was under the impression, and look, you do this sort of thing, you end up speaking to a lot of people, and everybody had heard the same rumour, basically, which was that he had been offered not only the highest salary at West Ham, but sort of by default, if he became the highest paid player at West Ham, that would make him the highest paid player there's ever been at West Ham. The highest paid player in the club's history. I don't know why it was so hard for me to say that sentence. But I don't ever think it was about money. I don't know. But it could be any one of those things. I think what it's clearly not now is about football, because that's the one thing that's insurmountable, right? If what he wanted to do was wanted to leave because he didn't like the football, no amount of money would make a difference. He'd never sign. So, I don't know. Actually, maybe that was part of it. And David Moyes said, I'll play you more as striker. I don't know. Ultimately, I don't really care anymore. He's going to sign a new deal. And I just think it's brilliant news. It's funny how things can swing and the balance of something can move like that. I don't think it would have been really difficult for West Ham to deal with the loss of a player like Declan Rice, and then maybe next season lose Paquetá and then lose Bowen as well. That's going to be tough. And whilst I meant what I said, which is I got a lot more faith in our recruitment team now. I'd rather not have lost Bowen. As I said, I'd rather he stayed. And I think I wanted him to be paid as our best player, and as I think he possibly is. I know we could all sit here and we could have an argument, a debate, a discussion, couldn't we, about whether it was Bowen or whether it was Paquetá or whether James Ward-Prowse was, whether it was Alvarez, maybe it's Zuma. We could all have that conversation, couldn't we? But he's there. He's in the conversation. And I think what this now does is that's one less thing for us to worry about. And we don't have to now go and replace him, do we? That's really the point. The recruitment team can go and sort of test their mettle by trying to recruit go get some fullbacks and a striker maybe. But this is just really, really great news, and perfectly timed, actually, perfectly timed with Newcastle coming up tomorrow. I think just before a game, it's really good. I also think it's perfectly timed, not just for the club against Newcastle. It's perfectly timed for Bowen himself, because he can actually go away with England now and just really enjoy himself without worrying about that stuff. He will become a legend. He's going to now commit the best years of his career to West Ham. He's just going to be one of those players that's played hundreds of games and scored loads and loads of goals. He will end up being West Ham's top ever Premier League goal scorer. He may well end up, if he's not already, West Ham's top European goal scorer. All those things. He can have all the records, isn't he? And obviously scored the goal in the final. And he won't want to stop there, because Bowen keeps getting better and better. And I think it feels like the team are getting better and better. Look, ask me tomorrow at what time we're kicking off? 2. Ask me tomorrow at 3:45. It won't be 3:45, will it? The amount of extra time they put on. It appears like we're getting better at the moment. And I don't know, just sometimes there's a sort of bit of good news and there's a confidence boost that just happens at the right time. And I think this has come absolutely at the right time. So, yeah, good for him. I hope he gets... Actually, do you know what? I know I probably... Well, I have contradicted myself when I said I sort of don't want West Ham players to get injured playing for England. And I don't. And I know I said I'd sort of prefer it if Ward-Prowse didn't get selected, which I guess is true. But you know what? Keep fingers crossed and toes and everything else that he doesn't get injured. I'd be pleased for Bowen if he gets to play for England, because I think that's better for West Ham if he goes there and he gets onto the pitch and Southgate selects him. Well, I was going to say, if he gets onto the pitch and Southgate selects him, Southgate would have to select him first. Bowen would be in trouble if he just went onto the pitch without being selected. Let's be fair about this. I do think that'd be really good for West Ham. Really good if he plays. Got a goal as well, be absolutely excellent. I hope they've got that deal written down in ink, though, because you may well find if he scores for England, there might be another 10 grand a week go on top of the wages. But you know what? Who cares? I say who cares? Not my money, is it? But this is great news. Really, really pleased. He's set up, ready to be a West Ham legend. We can all enjoy it. We can all stop worrying about... That's one less thing to worry about. We can start worrying about Lucas Paquetá, actually, again. But no. All joking aside, brilliant news. Let's go tomorrow. He's going to score. It's written in the stars, right? Jarrod Bowen to score tomorrow. Don't bet on that. Don't take any betting advice from me. On my ACCA today, my ACCA was done. Was null and void after about 20 minutes. So there you go. Don't take any tips from me. I'll catch up with you tomorrow.